it. Like you think, I gotta articulate that to your closest friend. Sometimes they understand you. But even if they don't exactly, like there is someone, there is the Lord who completely understands. He is eagerly caring and wanting to hear and listen to the burdens on our hearts and the things that are going on in our lives. So amen. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yes. Well, we'll get to the discussion time. We'll get to share. Share the goods. Yeah. Okay. Let's jump into Matthew 7. This is a cool passage. Definitely it speaks for itself. Just the truth here. I am going to be starting in verse 7, Matthew 7:7. And we're going to go to like verse 11 here. So just a few verses. This is right after the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus teaching, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. Whoever seeks and he who seeks finds. And to him who knocks will be open. Or what man is there among you who his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If you then being evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? Yes. So this, let that settle in. Let that. I just feel like this is such a sweet passage of the Lord to bring up. He's just bringing that contrast and that comparison. And yeah, this is just such a reminder to ask the Lord for the things that are on our hearts and the things that He's put on our hearts, and just whatever those desires are, whatever challenges, those things that you have, even the smallest things, we can bring to Him. And it's so relieving and cool to bring those things to Him, even, from the deep things to the things that maybe seem trivial or shallow. In the New Testament says, cast your cares on Him, for He cares for you. And, be anxious for nothing. And a few things I'm talking about tonight are perfectly going to lead to what Anthony's wanting to speak on next week. Be anxious for nothing, but in all things through thanksgiving and supplication. Charlie in the back, he's got the scripture. Make your request known. No, you're good. I like it. No. Yeah, please say it.
Yeah.
I'm going through some things right now, and I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and like I've been asking, for clarity. And it's so hard to get clarity sometimes because He says people to tell you things, and the Bible tells me like there's none good, not one. And I'm finding it hard to trust the word of people when He keeps sending them to me. I don't get it. But I'm looking for clarity. How do you do it, though? I'm supposed to be trying.
Yes. And that is hard. I feel like we all maybe have an experience of people failing us. And we are still wrestling and being sanctified. Even people with best intentions, we have to have grace for one another. And the Lord and His word, He will not let us down. But there has to be grace sometimes for people that have error. Sometimes it's on, hopefully the intent is not bad and they're figuring things out too. And having that grace for people, but bringing the word of the Lord to them to help sharpen each other. So that is that's tough. Yes. And so, yeah, I love this passage. A couple of things that like just kind of, reaffirm this in other passages. Every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father of lights. And just a lot of passages that kind of reaffirm this. And a little snippet on that. I love that. I love thinking every good gift, like everything that we enjoy in this life, whether it's the good, the deeper things, righteousness and all that, or the small things, the little joys, like even just the beauty of the world, like just relationships, love, like everything, like good food, all these are like gifts from the Lord. It's not like different than like spiritual and other kind of more material day-to-day things in our life. All the good things that fall in the righteousness are like sweet gifts from Him. And all things, are good are to be enjoyed. Yes. And so, but I love the beginning of this passage as well, the ask, seek, and knock. He really emphasizes that as well and really values us pursuing these things as well. Whether that's like going after something, of course, asking Him, but then asking around us, like trying, pursuing that, being like proactive with God, like having, the right amount of faith to go after something, but then, but obviously asking for it from Him as well. Because He gives us things. He wants to partner with us. He wants that relationship. So we are trusting Him, but we are also going after it. You see that in the Psalms a lot as well. The one I'm thinking of is, there's one in the beginning, and also the Proverbs, ask and seek for wisdom, but then Psalm 37, it was a 1:3, trust and commit your way to the Lord, and He will direct your path, and He will bring it to pass. But like commit it to Him, like keep the dialogue, like be praying about it, but then also pursue, but then don't be afraid to try and go after it. Ask, seek, knock, and yes. So I love that exhortation. And another passage I'm thinking of that goes into asking things according to His will as well, like those passages where He's saying, if you abide in Me and I will abide in you, then ask what you will, and it will be yours. It goes hand in hand with delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. So there is like a being open to His way, and these are things we know. These are things that we know of. Submitting to Him, but joyfully, delighting in His ways. The Psalms say the statutes of the Lord are right. They're the rejoicing of my heart. They enlighten the eyes. The fear of the Lord, the fear of Him is clean. Like it's pure. It's wonderful and it's good. Like that sometimes people's view of God is like He is hard on humanity, and He is righteous, and he is righteous, and there is that standard, but He is full of the grace and the mercy, and does not put out a dimly burning flame, as Isaiah says, where if there's a heart that is trying to go after Him, He's going to nurture that, even if it's not fully mature in all of the ways. Like He draws us, and He nurtures that, and He is gentle with us. And I think if we have that view of God, we'll run to Him in even like our weakness and our issues and anything, that is on our hearts, and carrying that with the things that we already know about Him as well, and the things that He's calling us to do to walk in His his commandments, the fruits of the Spirit, being generous, being joyful, being kind, loving, all those things that, like we do not. I mean, he can remind us that by his Spirit, but we can also know those things too. So kind of pairing the two together is kind of the culmination of the message tonight. I feel like coming from this passage, and I think it's just a beautiful equation to walk through each season of our lives. I feel it now in my life. I feel like in the last, couple of years, I kind of figuring out that balance of, the Lord has like set some things before us. Like he kind of starts a path in our life, our family, our gifts, and where we go to school, and maybe even kind of these skills we have for, what degree to maybe go into, or things on our heart that we can keep pursuing in relationships and stuff like that. But then also he gives us the green pasture where we also have desires. We can also make some decisions, and there's like a little bit of both going on, and there's that dialogue with him. And so if you go for it a little bit, things that are on your heart, like, Lord, should I do this? If you are not getting a clear answer from him, ask him, but then seek and knock and explore that, the opportunity, and let him kind of steer you and open doors and shut doors, because he will, especially if you are praying, even if it's like a general prayer of I do want you ultimately to be, governing me. Commit your way to the Lord, but then if you try and you steer the ship a little bit, he'll start kind of confirming or not, and it's kind of a sweet dance, and I feel like it can be exciting, and you can have that peace. And I feel like, in the last couple years, I feel like I have learned to be a little bit more proactive with God, and just be like, this is in my heart, this is what I want to do. It'll kind of show me, in which way. Maybe I'm not going to make a drastic move. I'm just going to, move churches or states or something like that. But maybe sometimes that is the move, and that will become more clear to you in those seasons. But I take what's before me where he's already set me, but then I also bring my desires to him, whether that's just in relationships and sweet, deep friendships, or wanting to meld together more as a worship team on Sunday mornings, and wanting that to be sweet, or I'm asking driving to work and kind of is there an opportunity for me to encourage someone? I feel like these are more spiritual examples, but sometimes it is the small, trivial stuff too, where I'm just I should really want this, or I want, to find this certain thing that I'm he even cares about, those little desires of your personality, and that honesty with him. There's been seasons in my life where I'm I feel exhausted trying to be your witness at work. I feel so much pressure, and he's allowed me to just be. Just don't, just be my daughter. There's not this pressure. There's that open conversation with him, and he just let me enjoy him and my life as a daughter of God until, I kind of realized, man, I want to be more overflowing for you, and bringing people to you, and all those conversations in every season. As far as my examples in my life, but whatever that is for each of us. And so it's just very exciting, just how much the Lord loves each one of us. He knows exactly your personality, your family, where your whole life he's been kind of watching, and he loves you that. And he wants to get in it with you guys, and have the dialogue, and see us grow into all the things that he has for us, you know, in righteousness, but also like the desires of your heart too. There is like a satisfying that he does too. Like, and then we want to live for him more, but he first loved us, you know, and lavishes on us without the spirit of performance, and so it's a sweet thing. And so, yes. It is good, and I want us to get into discussions of it and be able to share with each other kind of those things on our journey, and you know what maybe challenges, or maybe you'd like to feel that friendship with the Lord a little bit more, that excitement. Like what is he doing in my life? You know, kind of a week to week thing where I kind of like I am submitting to him and I am seeking him, but I also know that I can be honest, and there's like a sweetness there that he's gonna hear. And when I am submitting to him and trying as well, but in my vulnerability, that he is seeing, he's helping, and then you know can break into your situation in a way that it will manifest in its life somehow. It will, and you're like, wow, he heard, and he's doing things, and that's. Those little things, you know, built up on top of each other. It's what causes us to go from faith to faith and strength to strength. And so, yeah, let's, we'll get into a little bit of quiet time, and let's just be, thinking of that. Like, you know, what are some challenges that we have, or you know, roadblocks where maybe we kind of know what he has said. Maybe I should step out in those things and let him meet me in faith. Let me step out in that. Or what things I'm kind of bottling up and I didn't really like ask him for specific things, and I'm getting frustrated, you know, with an outcome or non-outcome, that maybe I should ask him for that. And he wants to show you that he wants to be involved and wants to have a relationship. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, and his resources do not run dry. Amen. Once we've done those things, and then we'll get into groups. I think we're trying to keep the groups a little bit smaller so that we actually have a chance to kind of get into some good discussions. We can kind of hear what our own experiences have been and kind of hear from each other and stuff too, or a question, or a struggle, or a challenge that you have on this topic. Either one of those. Yes. All right. Okay, the desires of your heart. Yeah. I feel like that's just a sweet thing. And the Lord breaks into your situation. Okay. I think that's all I have for the message. So I'll end us in prayer, and we'll put on some music. Lord, I just thank you for these sweet, sweet people, God, and just how we're getting to know each other a little more and more as a group as the weeks and the months go on. And I just pray for this, for Gather, just in general, Lord, these evenings we set aside. I just pray that your Spirit would come and just start with us, Lord, that you would just be nudging at our hearts. Though sometimes it seems like, where are you in this generation? There are ones that do know you. You are alive, and you are willing to work and show up on behalf of the ones that wait for you, that will step out in faith, but also be in that dialogue with you, and that we're going to see your power and see you show up more and more in our lives, just as we humbly seek you out and stay in the dialogue. And so I pray for that. I pray that you would draw us to you, show us how to walk with you, and let your sweet presence come, and just keep us, Lord, in this season and for all the days of our lives. Amen. Just come and draw us near to you.
Yeah, feel free to spread out too and move out, take turns on if you'd like, but